Before you decide she is not interested, I need you to stop. Because there is a very high chance you are about to walk away from something real. Not because the signs were not there, because the signs she was sending do not look anything like what you have been taught to expect, and nobody ever showed you what to actually look for. Here are 8 things she does when she is interested, even when every part of her behavior seems to be saying the opposite. 1. She remembers things you mentioned once and brings them back. You said something in passing, a small detail, something you barely remember saying, and weeks later she brings it up. This is not small. This is significant. Memory is not automatic. We do not store everything equally. The brain reserves space for things and people that matter. When she keeps something you said, something casual, something you threw out without thinking, she is telling you that you have been living in her thoughts since that conversation ended. She did not take notes. She simply could not forget you. 2. She challenges you, but stays. She disagrees with something you said. She pushes back. She questions your opinion without backing down immediately. Most men read this as disinterest. They think if she was attracted to me, she would be agreeable and warm. That is wrong. A woman who challenges you is a woman who is engaged. She is testing whether you can hold your own, whether you have enough substance to be worth the investment, whether you can be interesting to her over time, not just in one easy conversation. A woman who feels nothing simply lets you talk. She nods. She agrees because the interaction is not worth her real opinion. If she argues with you, if she gives you her actual thoughts, she has decided you are worth the energy. 3. She finds reasons to show you things on her phone, a photo, a video, something she thought was funny, something she came across that reminded her of a conversation you had. None of these things required her to include you. She could have kept all of them to herself, but instead she created a moment, a small private exchange that belongs specifically to you and her. This is how women close distance when they are not quite ready to close it with words. They build small shared references, small private worlds. Because every time she shows you something, she is watching how you respond and deciding whether you are the kind of person she wants to keep building that world with. 4. She asks about your future. Not your past, your future. What you want, where you see yourself, what you are working toward, what you are hoping to build. When a woman asks about a man's future, she is quietly placing herself inside it to see how it feels. She is not collecting data. She is imagining. She is running a mental picture of what your life looks like and whether there is space in it for someone like her. A woman who feels nothing asks about your job. A woman who feels something asks what you are hoping for. 5. Her friends know who you are before you have met them. You meet one of her friends. Her friend already knows your name, already knows something about you, brings up something that came from a conversation she could only have had with the woman who told her. You were not supposed to find out this way, but you did. Women do not talk extensively about men they have not thought extensively about. The ones who make it into conversations with friends are the ones who have already taken up significant space in their mind. If her friends know you before you know them, you were already important before you were told you were. 6. She stays in uncomfortable conversations instead of changing the subject. Something difficult comes up, a topic that requires honesty, a moment where it would be easy to deflect, make a joke, or redirect to something lighter. She stays. She asks the harder question. She gives the more honest answer. She lets the conversation go somewhere real instead of keeping it on the surface. Women do not invest in emotional depth with men they plan to leave. Difficult conversations require trust, and you cannot build trust with someone you are not planning to know. If she keeps going deeper instead of staying shallow, she is not making a mistake. She is making a decision. 7. She texts you about nothing and keeps going. The message had no real purpose. It did not require a response. It was not information. It was just contact. And then when you responded, she kept the conversation going long past the point where the original topic had been resolved. This is not someone filling time. This is someone who thought of you and acted on it before she could talk herself out of it. The nothing text is the most honest message she sends, because there is no practical excuse for it. The only reason it exists is that she wanted to reach you. 8. She becomes more herself around you over time, not less. In the beginning, there is a version of herself she shows you, slightly more careful, slightly more considered, slightly more managed. And then slowly, if she trusts you, if she feels safe, that managed version starts to loosen. The real laugh comes out. The less careful opinion appears. The thing she usually keeps hidden surfaces without warning. This is not her becoming more comfortable. This is her deciding you are worth being real with. Most women spend their entire lives performing a version of themselves that is acceptable to the room. When she stops performing for you, when she shows you the version nobody else gets to see, she has already let you in further than most people ever go. 8 signs, none of them loud, none of them obvious, all of them real. The problem was never that she was not interested. The problem was that nobody ever told you what interest actually looks like when a woman is the one feeling it. She remembers your words. She challenges your ideas. She builds small, private worlds with you. She asks about your future. Her friends know your name. She goes deeper instead of safer. She reaches out for no reason. And she lets you see who she actually is. You were not imagining it. You were just looking for fireworks when what she was giving you was something that burns much longer than that.